Hello, hello, hello. I hope all is well. My screen is a little dirty. Hope that's, oh yeah, that is better. That's a little better. Bear with me. All right. There we are. All right. Hello, hello, hello. I hope all is well today. Um, we are, hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome in. I was going kind of back and forth on what we are going to talk about today, but I think I've settled on just talking about mindfulness and awareness, being more mindful and aware, being more so in our present moment. So I got eight affirmations. Um, I have eight affirmations today on mindfulness and awareness. So I hope these are helpful. As I always say, feel free to take notes. Make sure to like this live. Make sure to share it with as many people as you can. Make sure to give as many hearts as you can so people can see it in their timelines. And again, I hope these are helpful and bring some type of solace in discussing being more present. Um, so, in the meantime, make sure to drop where you're watching from. Make sure to comment, like the live, all of that jazz. If you have any questions, let me know. This is very interactive, and I'm excited to talk through. I was sick most of the week last week. So, this is the first day that I feel a little normal. I might be a little nasal. That's why I'm a little bit delayed in our meditation. The meditation for this week I already worked on. I should see that. I want to say tonight or tomorrow morning posted, but it's going to be a mindful midday check-in. So something that you can listen to in the middle of the day. It's going to be a 7-minute meditation where you'll be able to check in with yourself, especially if it's a stressful first half of the day. So it's something to help you recenter and just check in with yourself. So you should see that coming either tonight or in the morning. Okay, awesome. Yay, mindfulness and present moment is helpful for me this week. Awesome. I'm glad that this is going to be helpful for you, Kiki. Texas. I didn't realize you were in Texas. Awesome. I'm in Chicago, so we're same time zone at least. But yeah, definitely like the live, definitely share it. If there's anyone that you think that can benefit from the live, or just hit the heart button just so people can see it in their timelines. All right, perfect. So our first affirmation for tonight is let me pull it up here. So the first one is, in this moment, I have everything I need. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. In this moment, I have everything I need. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. So it's just a reminder to say that regardless of wherever we find ourselves, we have what we need within us. We have the power within us to handle and navigate that situation. And we're exactly where we are meant to be, even if it is a more difficult situation, because within those difficult situations is growth, in those situations is opportunity. And a lot of times when we find ourselves in difficult situation, our purpose is attached to it. So we have to go through it in order for us to be able to come out on the other side in a more healthier state, and in a state that is leading us to our purpose and our passions. So in this moment, I have everything I need. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. That's number one. Number two, I am fully present in this moment and I embrace it with awareness and openness. I am fully present in this moment and I embrace it with awareness and openness. So it's not just like being aware and like understanding, where we are, but also embracing it with awareness and openness. With awareness, just to say, for one, like, I'm aware where I'm at. I know where I'm at, and I know how this is impacting me emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But then also being open, and the open part is the hard part, because being open to difficult situations is not easy. Nobody wants to be open to pain or open to hurt or open to just not being uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. So this is something to remind us to, one, I'm fully present in this moment, but I also embrace the awareness and the openness that has to come along with it, right? So that's number two. I hope that's helpful. It's easier said than done, but I hope that's helpful. Number three, I am. Oh, my music. I thought my music shut off. Number three, I am aware of my body's needs and I treat it with kindness and gratitude. I am aware of my body's needs and I treat it with kindness and gratitude. A lot of times we go through life not realizing how we treat our bodies, not realizing that we're going through life just kind of wearing ourselves to the bone and not taking into consideration what our body needs in any given moment from day to day. I see this within myself often because of the fact that I do so much. And ultimately, I do so much because that's just me. I've always been that person where I have to do multiple things in order for me to say, call myself centered, or to find myself in a centered space. So that's just something that I've embraced about myself and actually love about myself. But on the other hand, I have to be more aware of how I'm treating my body as I'm doing my passions and working and all of these things, and make sure to treat myself kindly and with gratitude. I see myself like kind of beat myself up around this when I find myself, let me see, when I find myself really frustrated about the of me being tired. Like if I know that I have a lot of things going on, I know I have a lot of things to do, but I find myself tired, I sometimes beat myself up about it. Like, why are you so tired? You know you got to do this, you know you got to do that. And I kind of like beat myself up about it often. So one thing I had to remind myself is like, it's okay to be tired. If you're doing a lot of things, like if you find yourself exhausted and tired, that's okay. And like I said, I used to beat myself up about that. So in those moments, remembering that my body is my temple and it's something that I'm supposed to protect, and it's something I'm supposed to care for. I'm supposed to give my body rest. I'm supposed to nourish my body. There's times where I would work and look up and it's 3 o'clock and I hadn't eaten yet. Or it's times where I go through the whole day and I look up and I hadn't drinking any water. I didn't take my vitamins. And then I wonder why I'm exhausted. So just taking the time to treat your body with kindness and gratitude, and make sure that we're, one, taking care of our bodies, but also thanking our bodies like, hey, listen, body, I know we had a lot to do today. I know that you're tired. We're going to give you some rest. Thank you for carrying through me through this day. Thank you for covering me and protecting me and getting me to this moment. Taking a time to just, thank your body, to thank your yourself just for getting you to a certain point, to thank God for getting you to a certain point, giving yourself gratitude in that moment and treating yourself with kindness and your body with kindness, is what's most. Sometimes kindness is getting out and getting some sun for like 10-15 minutes, to give yourself your body some type of rejuvenation and happiness. Kindness is working out. Giving your body something to work out to, so that way it's in its best state. And it's releasing all of those hormones that your body needs to function. If we're not working out, your body isn't releasing those hormones that it needs to function and to be happy and to be content. And we wonder why we hurting, our back hurt, our legs hurt, our ankles hurt. We wondering why everything's all over the place, because we're not giving our bodies what it needs. The body is a person. Listen, sometimes we got to sometimes we have to just give our body some grace, and give it and give it some space to relax, and to, I don't want to say talk back to it, but just giving ourselves, our brains, our mindsets to say, my body needs rest. My body needs this. My body needs that. And I need to give myself space to do that. Sometimes we have to be personified in that way, just so that way we take the time to be more mindful and aware of our bodies, not to be all weird. No, I know. I know. I know. This is more so with just making sure that we separate the two, because sometimes it's hard to separate the two, and then we just beat our bodies up all the time and then wonder why we got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart issues, kidney issues, liver issues. We smoking up everything and wondering why our bodies is jacked up. We eating the wrong stuff. Like, it just kind of goes on and on and on. So sometimes we have to separate the two, so that way we treat it better. Um, awesome. All right, that was number 3. Number 4, my awareness grows stronger each day, and I greet each experience with positivity and curiosity. My awareness grows stronger each day, and I greet each experience with positivity and curiosity. So, understanding that more awareness helps us to grow stronger. It helps us to grow stronger emotionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. The more we are aware of ourselves, the better we can be. And the more we are aware of ourselves, the more we can embrace each experience. And when it says to embrace each experience with positivity and curiosity, a lot of times we approach with positivity, but we may not necessarily approach it with curiosity. And what I mean by curiosity is approach it with the seeking to understand versus seeking to be heard. A lot of times we approach all of these experiences that we have with in the forefront of our mind, that I need to be heard, versus seeking to understand or being curious of what's actually happening. And that's when we get off track. So it's not just with positivity. Positivity is great. But when we approach it with positivity and curiosity, we make better decisions and take better actions in the long run. Um, this is the 3rd time today that you're getting messaging about your health. Let me get in the gym. Listen. It's been popping up for me too, and I've been in and out, on and off, about like my workout and my action plans as far as like eating is concerned. And I'm trying to stay on it too. So you're not alone. By all means, Kiki, you are not alone. Awesome. But with the positivity and curiosity, just make sure to approach your situations, as many situations as you can, with positivity and curiosity. It's very important, because we get into a lot of trouble with the situations we find ourselves in, because we're not being curious enough. We're so quick to jump on situations with our own ideologies and our own thought patterns, and our own traumas, our own mindsets. And when we approach all of the situations, differently, when we approach it with curiosity and ask more questions versus saying more statements, then it makes a big difference on how present we are in that situation. If you ask more questions, you have to now pay attention, right? You got to pay attention to the responses. If you ask more questions, then you have a little bit more of a solution-based mindset versus is you going to hear me mindset. So just shifting our mindset to curiosity versus speaking, and I have to say a lot of stuff, will make a big difference as far as like our awareness in any situation. That's with work, that's with our kids. Like I just started asking my kids more specific questions, and you'll be surprised at what they say back, you know? So it's with kids, with your family, with work, with friends. Just be a little bit more forward thinking when it comes to asking questions and seeking to understand versus I want you to know what I'm thinking. If that makes sense. I hope this is helpful. Awesome. Next one. I am a witness to my thoughts and emotions, consciously choosing how I respond to them. I am a witness to my thoughts and emotions, consciously choosing how I respond to them. So, thinking of our thoughts and emotions of us being a witness to it versus us actually being those thoughts and emotions. So, there's a difference between I am angry and I'm experiencing anger, or I'm witnessing anger within myself. So thinking of those emotions and thoughts as an experience or something that you're witnessing versus it being something you are or taking on as I am this thing. And by doing that, it helps you to make better choices and it helps you to respond better to those emotions and thoughts. One thing we have to understand is that our emotions and our thoughts are not always fact. Our emotions and thoughts are not always going to be true. They're going to be based off of misunderstandings. They're going to be based off of perceptions. It's going to be based off of our trauma and what our triggers are. So once we're more aware of that in itself and understand that our thoughts and emotions don't necessarily hold true to everything, it goes back to the curiosity, right? When we're talking about curiosity in the last affirmation, but it also helps us to choose how we respond to things versus us responding solely based on our thought and our emotions. So I know that's easier said than done. I know that's something that's going to take practice, but being more aware of that is step one. So being more aware of how our thoughts and our emotions talk to us. And I know we talked about last week about how our emotions, it might have been last week or the week before, how our emotions are teachers and how our emotions teach us about ourselves and how we think. And the more we are aware of what our emotions are teaching us, the better off we will be when it comes to our choosing our responses. A lot of times our responses is out of whack because of the fact that our emotions are out of whack and we're not taking the time to, again, go back, being more present in the moment and approaching situations with curiosity and positivity. So because we're not doing that, it takes away from our perceptions as being valid perceptions and them being skewed perceptions. And then we make the wrong decisions. No, I won't even say the wrong decisions. We just don't make the best decisions. Sometimes in that moment, you might have thought that was the right decision. Okay. So I am a witness to my thoughts and emotions, consciously choosing how I respond to them. If we're conscious of how of our thoughts and emotions, we will make better choices. And we have to, again, go back to positivity and curiosity because sometimes we are very much aware of our emotions and thoughts and still make the wrong decisions. So that's gonna determine or change the two. You know what I mean? Of whether we're, gonna have the best responses to these things. Awesome. That was that was five. Yeah, that was five. All right. So we have three more. Number six. My power is in the present. I take life one moment at a time. My power is in the present. I take life one moment at a time. So, again, this is easier said than done, but it's more of an awareness factor, right? So, of course, we're going to think about things that are happened in our past as far as reflection and making sure that we are not making the same mistakes and moving forward. We are also going to make plans for the future. So, I'm not saying that you should never have those thoughts or never plan or never be proactive and foresee what's to come. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is our primary thought process should be based on what's currently happening. Sometimes we're always in the past or we're always in the future and we're never in the present. So making sure that we have a balance, maybe that, we're at 60%, 60% of our thought patterns are what's happening in the present, and 20% is future, and 20% is past. However you want to think about it, so that way it makes sense in your head. But being more conscious of the present and taking things moment to moment, tuning into your current senses, understanding what you're feeling, thinking, and doing at any given moment. And then also focusing on what you can control, especially when it comes to situations that are not the easiest situations to deal with. And a lot of times I think just we as people, we get caught up in the complaint. We get caught up in talking about the problem, and we get caught up in that instant replay of what happened and how it played out, and replaying it in our minds over and over and over and over again. And it's just on autoplay. You know what I mean? Um, and instead of us finding ourselves in that space and continuing to do that and continuing to complain and continuing to think through those things, shifting your mindset to the present of, okay, this is where I'm at now. What can I do now? What can I control now? And shifting ourselves back to that versus continuing in that instant replay. Because that instant replay can go on for hours, days, weeks, months, years, and we just keep playing it over and over and over again. And there's no solution, there's no end, there's no acceptance, there's no forgiveness, there's no gratitude, there's no nothing, and it just keeps replaying. And that's how we end up in these cycles of terrible mindsets. And so this is just something to remind ourselves that our power is in the now. The power is just sitting at the screen. If you're on your phone or you're on your laptop and you're watching right now, your power is in your now, what we're talking about now, and how you can, find a better sense of yourself in the present, and practicing that throughout your day. It's not going to come easy. I promise you it's not. It's going to be difficult. But the better you get, the closer you are to growth, and the better you'll be able to be more aware and present with where you are in that moment. The instant replay is a form of channeling the negative emotion. We have to transmute it. I'm sorry, kind of went in and out there. You're so right about, yeah, the cycles are meant to keep us in that spinning game. And nobody, it's like a hamster a wheel. I never understood that with hamsters. They just love just to kind of keep going, and keep going. But you're not going anywhere. No, you know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to continue in an instant replay of us just kind of just pedaling. It's like being on a bike and just pedaling and not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. Yeah, them darn hamsters. Absolutely. Nobody wants to be in a hamster wheel. Nobody wants to replay that thought process. And you have to stop it. There's no other way for it to stop than you making a conscious effort to say, this is not what I'm going to think about right now. I'm going to shift my mindset to something else. I'm going to shift my mindset to things that are joyous, that are happy, that is not, the instant replay is a distraction. That's all it is. It's a distraction from what you can get done, from being solution based, from having contentment and peace. It's just something to keep you distracted and to keep you, like you said, Kiki, in that emotion. And that's why we stay mad. That's why we stay angry. That's how anger turns into bitterness. That's how anger turns into resentment. That's how sadness turns into depression. That's how, sadness and it turns into extreme loneliness. That's how all of it turns and evolves and spins into something totally different than what we expected. So yeah, a lot of times we want to be, and especially now that we're going into the holidays, this is the time where a lot of that happens. Where if you have, you know, family members that pass away and you're grieving, and the grieving process kind of starts back up. If you have like a weird, horrible, or even detrimental family dynamic, and you're grieving, have to go around your family members, if you're just don't like the holidays because of things that's happened in your past and it's triggering for you, and then it just, you replay those situations over and over and over again. So it happens at different, you have to figure out how it happens for you. Does it seasonal? Is it triggered and then it starts you in a spiral? Is it something that happens to you daily? But being aware of how that shows up for you in your life is what's most important. And once you're aware that it's happening and you can accept that it's happening, not accepting it as in condoning it, just accepting that it's there, then is where you'll be able to make change. Then is where you'll be able to shift your mindset. Then is where you'll be able to do something different. But we can't do it if we're not present. Okay, I know that was a loaded, I'm thirsty. I know that was loaded, but I want to make sure that I get that point across, because I think a lot of times we miss it and we fall into that trap every day. And I'm one to say I have fallen in that trap every day. You know what I mean? Um, I got this Bible verse on my wall. Do not be conformed by this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you will be able to discern what is the will of God. Absolutely. Another one is, I want to say Philippians 4:8. I might have referred to it. Actually, I referred to it in the deep gratitude meditation, where it talks about whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things of good report. It has like a long list of things, and whatsoever things of good virtue, think on such things, which just basically means think of the positives. Those are the things that you should primarily be thinking about. And if you find yourself in those instant replays, again, it's a distraction. It's a distraction from you to take away from those things that are beautiful. Whatsoever things are honest is another one. Think on those things. And when you find yourself outside of that and you find yourself spiraling, you have to consciously change it. Nobody's going to be able to change it but you. And if you need to lean on God to do that, then do that. When I find myself, when I am in those spirals, I pray. I'm like, Lord, and I don't, and when people talk about prayer, they be talking about talking to God and these whole holy big words. I be like, look, Lord, listen, I'm going through a thing today and I need your help. Okay. And I just talk to him just like I'm talking to anybody, because it's like at the end of the day, if you're going to build a relationship with God, he needs the real you and he needs the honest and true you. And so if you're going to have those conversations, I don't know everybody, I know everybody doesn't believe in it, but if you do, if you don't, I suggest that you think about it. But if you do, that's what prayer is for. That's what meditation is for. So just keep all of that in mind. Um, you are such a good example-based explanation speaker. I love it. I love it here. Keep going, friend. I'll write Philippians 4:8 next for my wall. Absolutely. And thank you. I appreciate you. Philippians 4:8. But if you even 4:6-8. And then if you go further down in that chapter, I want to say Philippians 12. Read the whole chapter. Just read the whole chapter and pull out what you think is good. But 4, 6, and 7 is all linked together. To be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication, make your request known to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds forever. And then it goes into 8. Whatsoever, and I say, brethren, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest. I might be saying this out of order, but whatsoever thing of good virtue, think on such things. It's all linked together. And then further down is where I want to say 4 and 12 is where it says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Just read the whole chapter. Okay. Just go ahead and read the whole chapter. Because Paul was telling us what we needed to hear. All right. And Paul was in jail when he wrote that whole chapter. So if you can motivate me from jail, I'll take it. Okay. All right. All right, awesome. Last one. Let's see. Which one did I just do? I did my power is in the present and I take life one moment at a time. The next one is I am safe and secure at all times and everything is working out to my highest good. I don't think I did that one. I am safe and secure at all times and everything is working out to my highest good. So that's just about trusting the process. Understanding that we're in a process because of, a lot of times when we have to trust the process, a process will lead us to purpose. And taking the time to trust the process and finding safety in the process and finding safety with where we are is what's most important. And even enjoying where we are as far as the process. We got to enjoy the process just as much as the prize. And if we're not enjoying the process, then by the time we get to the prize, we're already going to be looking for that next thing. Versus if we actually enjoy the process, we take the time to go through the process and enjoy each moment and find gratitude in each moment. When we get to that prize, it means so much better. And then also too, when we get to that prize, we can find contentment instead of looking for, oh, what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next, So I am safe and secure at all times, and everything is working out for my highest good. Understanding that everything that's happening around you, even the bad, is working out for your highest good. It may not look that way when you're in it, but on the hindsight, you'll be able to see why you went through certain things. And a lot of times you go through things to help other people. I find myself like when looking at my situations, after it's happened and it's long and gone, excuse me, my throat is like jacked up. And when it's long and gone, it always comes around to where I'm talking to someone about it. Like, hey, this happened to me. You can get through it. This is what you need to do. And I always find that my pain is typically linked to my purpose. And if I don't have that, if I didn't have those situations happen to me, I wouldn't find myself in the purpose. I wouldn't find myself operating in even thinking about this and me doing meditation. If I didn't go through half of the stuff that I went through, maybe a couple back in 2020, or even before that, I wouldn't be here. This wasn't something that I intended to do. It wasn't something that I seeked out. It wasn't something that I actually was like, oh, like I want to be a meditation coach. Like it was never on my radar, but life happened. And because life happening, it led me here. And now I'm here in front of you guys having a conversation and encouraging you. But that wouldn't have happened if all of the chaos didn't happen to me back in 2020. I would say between 2017 to 2020. And then again in 2021. And then again this year, 2020, 2023. It just keeps going. But that's how we end up where we're supposed to be by pain. And I know that's hard to hear, but we got to embrace the good with the bad and understand that it's all needed in order for us to be the best versions of ourselves. If everything was hunky-dory, I feel like I would just be so prideful. I would be full of pride. I would not be humble at all. I would just think everything is me and God has nothing to do with it. And that's not where we should be. So that's why that's why pain comes. So yeah. So I am safe and secure at all times and everything is working out for my highest good. And the last one, my joyous future grows from the present moment. My joyous future grows from this present moment. So it just suggests that the choices, actions, and mindset in the present contribute to the creation and development of a joyous future. So the way that we choose, the choices that we make now, the actions that we make now, the mindset we set now determines how happy we are in the future. It determines how peaceful we are in the future. It determines how successful we are in the future. So the more we focus on the present and what we can control now and what we can be proactive about, the better off we will be in the future. But the more that we sit and stew in the future, or the more we sit and stew in the past, the more cycles we'll end up being in. And we're just going to keep being in that hamster wheel, going absolutely nowhere. So that's the last one. I'll go back through and read through. I'm sorry, y'all. I had mouth dry. Okay. So I'll go back through the top just so that way we have this. In this moment, I have everything I need. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. I am fully present in this moment and I embrace it with awareness and openness. I am aware of my body's needs and I treat it with kindness and gratitude. My awareness grows stronger each day and I greet each experience with positivity and curiosity. I am a witness. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I am a witness to my thoughts and emotions, consciously choosing how I respond to them. My power is the present. My power is in the present, and I take life one moment at a time. I am safe and secure at all times, and everything is working out for my highest good. My joyous future grows from this present moment. It's the last one. I hope these are helpful. I pray these are helpful. If this is your first time in our live, we do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the only live I do on YouTube. I do some lives as far as like on Instagram for meditation. So I do have a meditation live on Instagram Wednesday morning at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Um, and then I don't have any classes this week. So I'll keep you guys updated on classes, but as we get to the holiday, I'm going to slow down on live classes. But our lives on YouTube and Instagram are going to remain the same. So we'll see you all next week in one piece. Hopefully my throat is in a better space. And I hope these are all a blessing for you. Make sure to share the live to anyone that you feel will benefit from this. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, and then check out my book, Not Self, Let Me Be Great. You can get that on Amazon. The link is in the bio. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.